What's up, ladies? Hey, girl, hey! Rated Talk is finally back in full effect, and it's all about couples and cocktails. This is an intimate love series focusing on, what do you guys think? Love. So I'm going to introduce our amazing couples. Well, they're going to introduce themselves. Couple one, the Brookins.
Hey, Rated Talkers. I'm Pastor Alexis Brookins, pastor of the Rebirth Church of Atlanta.
I'm Tommia Brookins. I'm founder of Braveheart University and author of newly published P.S. Charlie.
The Sanders.
Hey everybody, my name is Rachel Daniels. I'm the owner of A Tall Woman's Production, and this is my fiance.
Sandy, this is Austin J. Sanders, and the J stands for Just Chillin'. I'm the owner, co-owner, and the everything above of Adjust and Adapt Fitness, running right out of here in Atlanta. And also, I'm a credit expert, so if you need your credit fixed, just holler at your boy. So pretty much, I lift weights and fix credit, so holler at me.
Hey, girl, holla at your boy, okay? So, stay tuned. It's Rated Talk, baby. Rated Talk is back, and we're in full effect. And we are so excited to just be back. I mean, today we're joined by our beautiful couples. This is the first episode from our series Couples and Cocktails, which is basically just an intimate conversation amongst the lovers. Today we're getting a real deal, okay? Over here we have a beautiful married couple, and over here we have an amazing engaged couple. So we're gonna get the real deal Holyfield. So enough of me talking. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. I'm gonna ask them a few questions. We're gonna play a game. I'm so glad y'all back. I'm so glad we back. I'm so glad we back, y'all. I'm glad we back. Okay, so let's get started. Tell us your name and how long you've been dating. Oh, no, been married.
I'm Tommia.
And I'm Alexis.
We've been married for 3 years. Together for 7. Yes.
And I'm Rachel,
And I'm Austin.
and we have been together for a little over 4 years, but been engaged for about 8 months.
Okay, so we're just gonna get right into it. I don't wanna go into the baby questions. And anybody's open to answer any questions that we have, just talk, okay? This is just a real deal Holyfield talk. How important, ladies and gents, is transparency in a relationship? Like, how key and important is that?
Well, I think it's very necessary because I think you have to be on the same page with your partner, because if you're not, then you're pretty much moving in two separate directions.
Yeah.
So I think it's very, very important.
I do too, and I definitely feel like it's important at the very beginning. I feel like it's a waste of time when one person wants to advance, get married, and have kids, and the other person doesn't. But if one person doesn't want to be honest about what they want, they just kind of feel like, I'll wait it out and see where we go, and then you end up wasting time and upsetting the other person. So just being honest about your intentions.
I was just gonna ask you guys that, how important or how necessary is it to have the married talk? Like, when you're dating, how quick should you have it? You know, you dating for a month, should you say, I want to get married in 3 days, and or should you wait years? Like, how important is that? How long should you wait?
I personally feel like love should just be natural, and it should feel like breathing while being intentional, but it should be very natural. And when you find your soulmate and when you find that person, it's going to come. It's going to come so natural. And it's not going to, the stars may not align, but it's going to be natural to you and your rhythm and the rhythm of your relationship. I know for us, he brought it up first, but I was thinking it, so
Were you afraid to say it?
No, I wasn't afraid to say it. It was
Okay.
just traditional,
Okay.
He's the man, let him bring it up. But he brought it up first, but I was thinking it. So it was like, yeah, let's go, But like you said, being transparent, seeing eye to eye. If you're always on the same page, you can never go wrong.
Yeah. And I think it's cool to bring it up as well. I kind of did. Because I think that I was used to dating and not really ever having that title or any type of real direction. So when I first met Austin, my intentions were there. I was like, look, I don't believe it takes 6 months, a year, or 2 years for you to figure out if I'm your girlfriend. I don't think we should be dating for 10 years before you try to put a ring on it. Like, no, here's a certain time frame. And I feel like I was being honest. So if that was something he wasn't into, we didn't have to have that awkward conversation later. Like, you got it when we first got there.
So, Austin, how did that make you feel? Like, when she hit you with did that scare you away? Or did that make you feel like, okay, this is a woman that knows what she wants?
it didn't scare me away because that's the type of guy that I was. So if you're dealing with that type of person, then it's not scary to you. However, if that guy if that guy's not me, then yeah, it's going to scare him away. So
You the only one who it don't scare.
it didn't
I'll
bother me.
say he's too cool for that. Okay. So what is that one thing that has kept y'all's relationship thriving through? I think you guys said, what, 7 years? You said 4 years. Like, what is that one thing that has kept the relationship just booming to where now you guys are married and now you guys are on the road to marriage? What, in August? Yeah. So what is it?
I guess I'll jump out. We have fun. Like, we're very silly. In fact, we just saw, what was it last night?
Power
Rangers. I was so excited. And I'm that nerd, and he tried to be low-key about it, but he's just as excited. And we just still have that fun, youthful spirit. I feel like a lot of times people get into relationships and they feel like they're so grown. I'm too grown to do that. We don't watch cartoons. I'm too grown. I'm a grown adult. No, I go to work, I pay bills, I have a degree, I'm grown too. But we like to have fun. And that's what keeps us young and youthful, and that just keeps us friends and lovers.
Okay.
I think much of the same. Also, communicating with one another is essential. It keeps us at a point where we know where the other one is, you know where you are, and it forces you to, like we said earlier, to be transparent. And whenever you're transparent, then you can always kind of gauge where you are and see what your next steps are. So definitely for us, the communication, and also with being married and having so much to do and our schedules are so crazy, always finding time and making time for each other outside of everything else. Like, we are religious about our date night. Like, on date night, we don't answer the phone, we don't answer emails, text messages, because that's our time to be with each other and to, you know, kind of go back to those days where we were courting, you know.
Yeah.
And
The impression stages.
I guess I don't know if I would use that word, but I get it. Yeah, so we just try to keep that, like you said, that fun element. Don't let anything be too serious.
Yeah.
Stress kills people. Nothing gets too serious. There are serious moments. There are serious conversations we have to have, but it's never bigger than us, bigger than the marriage, bigger than the union. So keeping everything at a calm pace and.
Yeah, personally, I feel like that thing was privacy. We were very private. We still are very private. And not so much where we're not transparent, you know, with people, but there are just certain aspects of your relationship that you just have to keep to yourself. Because it's just, at the end of the day, it's you and that person. And I think that's what has really kept us, just kind of, it kept us grounded. It kept us, it kept things into perspective. You know, it's just me and you at the end of the day. You know, you don't let all the hoopla get to your head. You remember, it's just me and you. At the end of the day, you know, after all of the, you know, pomp and circumstance, it's just me and you. So we don't let, you know, and we were dating before social media was popular. So being engaged during that era was kind of weird. But I'm glad, because when we got married, it was like, hey, we're married. Everybody's like, when did y'all get engaged? Like, what happened? But that worked for us, you know, and now we know how to keep it in perspective. You know, I think privacy is just so important. It's just you and that person in the day.
So I have a question with the social media thing. I know some girls are like, my man better show me on social media. If he don't show me on social media, that means he playing around. Some girls are like, my man does not have to show me on social media. I know what we have at home that doesn't matter. So are you all the type of women who feel like if your man or your mate does not broadcast you on social media, then they maybe have something to hide?
Like I said, we didn't date during that era, so I wasn't able to.
So it's not important to you.
It's not important, but he does. So I can't really relate. But I will say this to other women: it depends on your man. Some men, it's not that big of a deal. Some men really enjoy social media. That's okay. He's not really into it. Does he post pictures of us? Yes. That's probably all he posts.
Yeah.
But if he didn't, he's not really into it, you know? He's not.
So him not posting is not a big deal.
You gotta know your man, like in any other situation. If your man is not really into it, okay, like get over it. You know? But if he's really into it, if he's posting every day, that means he's very calculated with this post. So I get how, like I said, it's not important to me, but I get how a woman can say, why you don't post me on your page, you know?
Yeah.
Well, for me, it is important, not because I don't trust him. I trust him 100%. But I do appreciate validation. Plus, it inspires people. There's a lot of people who are inspired by our relationship. We broadcast the fun part. We broadcast the black love, the successful, educated black. And it's like, I give him a lot of praise as a man because he's an amazing man. But then I'm like, I kind of need the same thing. Because part of me is feeling like I'm looking unworthy here. I'm like, I do stuff for you too. Like, let people know that. So it's, you know, it's not a not trusting. But it's kind of like, you know, we want to share our lives, but we share positive. And I think that's what gets people tripped up on social media. I've never posted when I was mad at him. That's what I have family for if I need events. Everything is positive and fun. And so that's why on our side, we don't have any real, so we never had any type of drama come from social media. But I think it's more because we have, most of my family don't even live in Georgia. So it's like they're all friends with us. We want them to know what we're up to. And just, you know, that we still love each other and all that stuff. But that is important. It don't have to be an all the time thing. But
every
it's
time
looking a little dry. I'm like, let them know you love me. Just look at me a little dry.
Okay, so this is a real talk question. Since you guys are married and you guys are engaged, would you rather an inactive sex life or minimal communication? Like if they say these are the only two options, which one would you choose?
Your face.
Because I want to make sure I understand
Minimal
the question.
communication.
Which means like very either none or real small
So no
amount, or just like
communication
the
or
active,
no.
the sex is just not there.
I'm gonna let you answer because I know what you're gonna say.
You sure?
Think about it. If you had to choose.
Why we gotta?
Yeah, I'm going to let the guys.
I'm gonna let the guys
I'm
answer
interested
this
in
one
here.
here.
I'm interested in
The
here.
women.
If I had to choose between no sex and no communication, which one would I choose? Okay, got you. That's a very easy.
But I don't know though, because communication is a big part of relationships out here. I'm single as heck, so I wouldn't know. But I do hear that it's very important.
It is.
So which one is more important? Talking or doing the grown folks? Which one is more important?
Grown folk.
Really?
I mean, yeah, because sometimes you don't want to hear that. You know, we don't hear nobody talk all day. It's very real. So that's only if I had to choose. You know, you said if I had to choose. That's like saying if you had to choose between $100,000 or $99,000. Either way, it's either or, you know.
Not there.
It's not very different.
Wow, my answer is different. I totally agree and understand everywhere he's coming from. Personally, if I had to choose, I would choose communication over sex. And the reason being, because when you understand the construct of marriage, sex was only exclusively to marriage. But in order to get yourself to a point where you're ready to give someone yourself, you first have to stimulate your mind. And that's just how I think and how I am. I did not get into her until we talked and we had conversations. I'm a big nerd, I'm a big intellectual, so if you don't stimulate this head, there's nothing you can do for my other head. And so that's why, and again, there's going to come a point when you stand in front of the preacher, you're going to say, till death do us part. There's going to come a time before death that you're not going to be able to do that. So now do you leave that person because you no longer have that? So that's why I would pick the communication, because that's the essence of a person. To me, sometimes sex clouds judgment. Sex allows you to be a person that you're really not, which is why I believe so many people get married to perfect strangers simply because there's a sexual connection. So because, you know, he's or she's good in bed and, you know, that's scratching my itch right now. I don't really know, you know, this person's political views or their views on raising children or their religious background, but he does his thing in the bed. And so now you grow up in perfect dysfunction because you've allowed something that should have been a mental connection first to be clouded by nothing but physical. So if I had to choose, that's not to say I don't, you know, that's not to say I don't, but if I had to choose.
That was the only option.
If that was the only option, then yeah, I would love to communicate. And the other thing, when you're trying to build an empire, you know, you ain't got time to be doing the grown folk all the time. We need to be in the meeting room trying to figure out how we're going to get these M's, how we're going to stack this money. So, you know, at the end of the day, if I had to choose, I would definitely pick the communication over everything.
Okay.
I agree with him because I feel like certain things can be taught and certain things can't. If somebody's not a good communicator and they just don't connect with you and you can't talk to them, it's never going to be taught. Sex, you know, you can learn that. You can learn to get back intimate. You can learn little things. So Yeah, wrong answer.
No, he had a good answer now. He had a good
He had a good explanation.
He had a good answer.
That's if I had to choose. I'm just saying.
It's okay.
He don't have to choose,
Right.
so you know.
He
so
could.
Never
He
thought
we'll
could.
never get to that bridge. We'll never have to go that route.
So of course I had to throw in a traditional question. Committing to one person is frowned on by this society. Y'all know commitment is not something that's glorified. It's something that's actually, it's torn down each and every day. You guys are young men. You guys are not older men. You guys are young men. What made you say, you know what? It's a lot of beautiful girls in Atlanta. It's a lot of whatever, but this is the one. Like, I gotta commit to her. All that is irrelevant. Like, what was that point, that moment, that aha moment, you know?
Well, I think the moment for me was her. She's very kind to everybody, and that's the type of woman you want to have around your kids. You don't want to have a mean person, like somebody mean all the time around your kids. You have to think like far in the future, not just in that moment. So the fact that she was kind and humble to everybody, she's gonna be kind and humble to our kids. And that's kind of life I want to have with her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that made up. Made up. He made up.
You made up with that one. I guess for me, knowing who I am as a man, knowing the goals I have set, the aspirations, I was the type of person that very young I knew where I wanted to be, what I wanted to be doing, kind of money I want to make, kind of house, kind of car, all of that. So I've always believed as a man, achieving your full potential, achieving your maximum, whatever you're set out to do, directly depends on the woman you choose to stand beside you. So I needed someone who was equally as hard on themselves as I was on myself. I needed someone who would not allow me to settle in mediocrity, who when I needed to be pushed was going to push me, when I needed to be petted was going to pet me, who wasn't just going to allow me, because I pay bills and come home every night, okay, that's enough, I think the whole commitment thing, I don't think it's frowned on by our society. I think our society has a skewed definition of what real commitment is, which is why you have men who will have children with a woman, live in the same house, come home for years, but will never marry her. Because there's something somewhere in the psyche of a man's mind, it's become a negative thing to give a woman your name and give her your total self. Your house is in your name, your car is in your name, your children have your last name. But the woman you claim to love, she's not worthy of that name. I found a problem with that. So I don't think, like I said, our society has problems with it. I just don't think we have the right viewpoint of it. We look at it as the ball and chain. When you get married, that's a ball and chain.
Very true.
But even if you take that same analogy, a ball and chain, it grounds you. It keeps you from drifting away. A ball and chain was used to keep prisoners from running away from their responsibility for the day. Your wife should be that person. She should hold you accountable. She should be your anchor. When you're drifting, she should be that person that, I got you. I don't know what you're going through right now, but I still got you. I'm going to be there. So for me, that was when she would get in the ring with me and go toe-to-toe. I'm like, okay. Because I know I can be I can have big horns at times. So someone that's, okay, I got big horns too. Let's go and let's get it. Then that for me said, okay, this is
The one.
this is the one. This is who I need to be with.
So adorable.
I know.
That was good.
Okay, so what is love to you, Rachel? What is love to you?
That's a hard question.
Such a big question.
It's a big question. That's what I meant. Yeah. Well, love to me is for me to be able to be myself comfortably. I feel like with everything going on, and even society, like when you touched on women who will date men, have their kids, will have a house, will have this whole life, but no title. It's like to be able to really know my wealth, and for you to know that, and for you to not be offended by that. If I'm like, no, we're not doing this, but you're like, I respect that, I like that. What do you like to do? Let me encourage that. So, because nobody's gonna love me more than me. So if you make me feel like I'm the best me, if you support me, if I'm sad and I don't feel you judging me, because I'm one of those people, I don't trust people. I hate feeling weak. I hate feeling like people are looking down and making me feel like I'm pathetic. But if you make me feel like I'm normal and I'm supported, like, to me, that's love. Because it's like when you're sick, you're going to need somebody. When you're even happy, you're going to need somebody. If I feel like you got my back no matter what, that's how I feel is love.
Tommia, what is love?
Like I said, that's such a big question. That's really my answer. And let me tell you, it's so funny. We were in the car literally talking about this. And he asked me something. I was like, it's just the fact that I can be me. I can be comfortable around you. And it sounds like so small, but it's such a big thing to women. Like just being able to be ourselves, be comfortable, take our wig off at night.
Girl, I was thinking the same
Just small stuff. Yes, just small stuff. Like, you know, when you're in the bed and your foot rub up on his and you need a pedicure and he don't like cream, like it's just that little stuff. You know, you gonna keep how you supposed to keep it together, but you know, see, some weeks not gonna permit, you know. It's just that little stuff, just being able to be comfortable and be you. And this, I say that because I see so many relationships of like tense women and they're like so calculated. You know, it's like it's a difference in being intentional and being over-calculated. You know, being intentional is just waking up and being married on purpose. Over-calculated is like, okay, I don't want to make him mad. Let me not do this, you know. And I can never, I thank God for that. You know, just being able to wake up and just be me. And that's, like I said, it sounds like such a small principle, but it's huge. Just being able to wake up and just be you. You know, you don't have to roll over to somebody, you know. You gonna brush your teeth? You know, like it's just you know, it's that small stuff. Just being able to be you. So I totally agree. That's my answer. I totally agree. I wouldn't change anything about what she said.
Isn't it crazy that it is so simple?
It's so simple.
But it's like, because we men, like literally women do the most. Like we will roll out of bed, put the wig on real quick, put the makeup on.
Right,
so get back in the bed. Like women will do that
they
because
will.
they're so afraid that the men they're with is not going to like the real one. And that's the worst feeling in the world because you feel like I can't have a bad day. I can't trip up for 1 second. Otherwise, this man's going to leave me. And that's not a fair thing.
And we all start off like that. Like, I mean, we all can be honest. You know, when you're engaged or courting, you know, you spend the night, you wake up, you go to me, let me get myself together a little bit. But then when you find out that he don't care, let me tell you something. When you find out, he's like, babe, why you got your wig on? You like, oh, I can oh, we there now? Cool. Like, that's everything. I'm like, this is the one I'm married.
Okay, so, Tommia, I want to ask you and your husband, how is marriage? Is it hard? Is it a lot of work? I hear some horror stories about marriage, y'all. Like, especially with, like, our generation. Like, how is it? Like, is it the wake up every morning, like, y'all glide to each other? Like, what is it?
You got to step up out of the first.
Like, how is marriage? How is it?
He's going to... See, that's me. Like, I'm a writer. So I live in, like, a fairy tale land. No, really. So I, like, write how I want my life to be. And it may not turn out like that, but... in essence, that is what marriage is to me. Like, it's your fairy tale. You know, you glide to him in your own way. It may not be how, you know, Cinderella glides or whoever, but it's your fairy tale. I feel like I was, like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, it's so natural. Like I always say, it's like breathing, like, for us. You know, for me. And it gets hard sometimes. But we promise each other we're going to fight on the same team. So nothing ever really gets too hard. You know, the stuff that we've gone through some stuff. But we always fought on the same team. Yeah. So it just made it easier. Yeah. You know?
Is marriage hard? No.
No, it's not a lot of work.
Now, something being a lot of work doesn't mean it's hard.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know, I think people are so scared of effort that effort is now likened to being hard. Because it's crazy, men will say, well, I don't want an easy woman. Well, why would you want why would you want something with that woman that's no work and no effort? You don't build muscle until you face resistance. So is it hard? No. Is there effort needed? Of course.
All day,
every day is effort. Like, just the small stuff, to get out of bed and go to work when we've been up at the hospital all night. To leave her there not feeling well, knowing that if I don't go to work, then I can't pay for the insurance that's allowed us to go to the hospital last night. Those are the moments that require effort. Like I said, we've been through a lot. You know, she lives with lupus, and so there are times when I want to go, like, hey, let's go run 10 miles or something, and, well, no, I don't feel good today. So we'll just sit in the house, and watch Sex and the City, love hip hop son. You know, that's effort.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. But that's the thing when you going back to where we started, when you're transparent with that person. I knew that up front, so it's no surprises. So effort, yes, and I don't think it's hard at all. You get up every day, you make an intentional decision. This is what I said. This is what I'm gonna do. And no matter what happens today, at the end of the day, and you gotta know that. You gotta know that person, even when y'all stand across from each other, altar, you gotta know without the shadow of a doubt that no matter what happens, every day you wake up, this person's got my back. When I can't call my mother, when I can't count on my family members, this woman has my back. And when you know that, you face life differently.
You do.
You go out with a different kind of swagger, like. And she's, like she's a writer, so she lives in fairy tale writer land. I'm more of a sports guy, so I have a play and I go to practice, but I like to audible. I like to go no huddle. I just like to kind of take it as it comes. Like
most men do.
Let's just see what happens. We gotta play, but if I see something change, and then we just gonna go and see what we can get done. So, but I know at the end of the day, she's got my back. So you walk out into life with a different kind of swagger. You have a different level of confidence because if I miss it, she's going to be right there to catch it. If she don't quite get there, I'm going to be right there behind her. And so hard, no. Effort required, yes.
Oh, and I'm sorry, if I could just jump in real quick. Our marriage counselor taught me something. Like he said, whenever you go through something, he always said, you have to just kind of remind yourself, I have a good man. And it just makes the way you approach the situation so much easier. Like if, for instance, when I come home and, his clothes are all over the floor, and I just want to shoot the house up, and hypothetically, I have to say, I have a good man. His intentions wasn't to make me mad. This is a bad habit. It's a bad habit, right? And it may not be a bad habit, it may just be, like you said, his thing. But you have to face it like, I have a good man, I have a good woman. And you have to always know their intentions are never to hurt you or to, there are never any ill intentions,
Okay. So, Rachel and Austin, does the ring size matter? Does it matter? Is that important?
Matter. I feel like that's setting women up to sound superficial if you're being honest about it.
Yeah.
And I hate that question because I'm like, I don't want to say it doesn't because unfortunately you will have some dudes that be like, well, shoot, if it don't, I'm going to get the cheapest when she's worth more. Yeah. So I feel like that question is never pinned to the men. It's always the women to kind of check to see where our heads are at. And it's like, if you ask me what am I worth, I'm going to say $10 million mansion and yachts. I'm worth a lot to me. But then we got to always have that humble answer. Like,
I don't think it's anything wrong with saying that I would like a nice size ring. I don't think that makes you superficial. I don't think that makes you like what you like. Just like if you say, I want to live in this certain type of house and drive this certain type of car. You like what you like. Right. That's your opinion, and I don't think you should be looked down on it because of it. You like what you like. If you want a Kim K ring, do your thing, boo. Get you a Kim K ring.
And that's another thing. I think what makes it superficial, if you know that you're the type of chick that sit on box Chevys, don't ask for a $30 million ring. Come on, man. Don't ask for that type of stuff. That's what makes it superficial, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying?
Or if you know your man he has not reached that point to where he can afford a $10,000 ring, and he's doing the best he can, and all he can afford is the baby ring, but the heart is there and the effort is there. Right. That's when it's not superficial. But if y'all doing okay, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey babe, I just want to shine a little harder.
Absolutely.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And the other side of that is, you got to understand marriage is a lifelong commitment.
It is.
So I'm not going to give you 10 carats on day one when we got years to build up to that.
Right.
And she said something that I want to take the task real quick. A lot of women see their ring size as their worth. Anyone in business will tell you it's not about worth, it's about value. Worth always depreciates, value always appreciates. So as the marriage goes on, as we come over hurdles, then every few years we'll add a carat or two. Some women get so caught up on that initial ring, and not because they're happy with the man they're with, but they want an opportunity to flaunt what they have to people who don't have. And so if that's your logic and thinking behind your ring size, do you even appreciate the fact that it is that type of ring that you want to go out and, you know, show that man out for it. And if the guy ain't got it, he don't have it.
But I think that's easier said than done because that's kind of what we were taught. You know, like a lot of us feel that way because that's what we were taught. You know, by grandma, mama, the internet, whatever. That's just kind of what we were taught. You know, that's society's reason for the ring. You know, and you know we know it's just supposed to be a symbol, but I mean, let's just be honest. That's what we were taught. I don't want a small ring.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Because
I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying that.
I was saying, I'm a tall girl, so I think weird on me.
Real life. And, you know, I feel like you said you like what you like.
Yeah.
You know, and I love your answer, babe. But
No, I
he
get
do
it.
not to give me a small ring because
And
my finger's too big.
She has big fingers and she likes nice things. And as my wife, I
And
want her to have nice
it.
things.
You can afford it. Listen, you are making the money. Don't do that. Like, don't do that just so she said to test me. I mean, I know you will never do that, but I hate seeing it. I hate that. Like, don't get a small ring just to test me.
Yeah.
You know, ball out for your girl.
Right.
You ball out for other stuff. Ball out for your girl. You know.
Yeah.
And her appreciation will be shown on Sundays after I get out of the pulpit and she allows me to watch the Falcons. And don't ask me to do that. That's her thank you for this
And
night.
I just sit there and stare at my
And
ring.
she just looks at her ring.
beautiful.
I watch TV, and her ring, might be an old school Chevelle for me. Like that when she's able to afford the things I like, she gives me those things. So why wouldn't I, you know,
Do the same
reciprocate
for
that?
her.
Yeah.
Amen. All right, so this is a tricky question. Men, or women, how do you handle female friends with your mate? Is that like once we together, like ain't no female friends, I'm your female friend, or do you still allow for them to have female friends and be okay with it? Like what?
You want the real
How do you?
answer?
This is
Or what we
this
supposed to
is
say?
we're honest, very honest. Like in a relationship, how do you handle female friends?
I'll go first. Okay, so I believe in fairness. Like any friend you had before me, if there's somebody you've never been intimate with, nobody had any feelings, because I have male friends and I know how you could really just be cool with somebody and have a common interest and then that's it. And so if they came before me, you guys have no past history, they're not calling you, like women know. That's the thing about men. Y'all be getting tripped up like crazy. Women are well aware when we are overstepping boundaries and we are doing stuff we are not supposed to. So we know when other women are doing that. So if they're doing that, then yeah, you cannot be in our lives, you cannot be in his life. But if it's just a friend from high school, friends from college, and it's very like a platonic friendship, they're not close best friends talking every day, I don't have a problem with that. Because I have male friends like that, and it's like, it is difficult to want to cut off 10-year friendships. You never know what me and this person's been through, how they might have picked me up when I fell, and all of a sudden I got to cut it off when they didn't do anything. Now, if you do something, then you're gone. All of y'all are gone. So I figure you can't
All of y'all.
regulate it. Yeah. Both y'all.
Well, I don't. We've never really dealt with that on his end. When we got together, I had a lot of male friends, but honestly, when we were dating, I just didn't care to have male friends anymore. You know, he didn't force me, like, stop hanging out with so-and-so. I just didn't care to have them. You know, like, once you get...
He was all you needed.
Yeah, like, no, really. And I'm not trying to sound like, you know, but that's just what it was for me.
Yeah.
Like, I was good, you know. I didn't need any more male advice. Like, if I had something to say to him, I'm going to go to him and say it. I didn't need to call, you know, this person and bounce this off of him.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of women say, I need my male friends to bounce, you know, ideas and questions, and I have questions about my relationship. No, if I have something to talk to him, I'm going to talk to him. So that was just for me. Like, I didn't have any need, and then everything just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
You know, do I have guys that I still, you know, every now and then, but for me, it just wasn't that big of a deal. Do I allow him to have female friends? I mean, I don't, he's never asked me that, so. Do I allow you to have female friends?
Well, I don't. Well,
How do I act when you...
Well, that's the thing. I wasn't that guy that had female friends. Now, there were females that I knew, and, you know, when I see, we'll kick it, but not like, hey, you know, you want to go out for margaritas tonight or nothing like that. So, you know, I don't know, like, what the correct answer is. I will say from personal experience with male friends that are in relationships and have female friends, that's a tricky road to walk, because even if you have a common interest, you know, a lot of times when men go to another level with a woman in a relationship, that girl that's been that friend, she may begin to blur that line and think, well, you know, you've been the one picking me up when I fell, and I've been the one for you. So what's, you know, you might get like a love and basketball situation on your hand. You know, she's showing up the night before your wedding, wanting to play you for your heart. So, you know, you never know, but
like she said, women, we know.
And like I said, not all women, but some women, that jealousy can creep up, or that, you know, just you never want to put yourself in a position to allow those type of things to happen. So I just personally don't have female friends. I don't even hang out with a lot of single dudes. Not because I dislike them, but because they might get into situations that me as a married man, if I was to be there, you know, it might be compromising. They can hang out all night and, you know, drink and shoot pool. I can't walk in the house at 6 o'clock in the morning, able-bodied, you know, in my right mind, and say, and not have called or anything and say that, you know. So you just kind of learn to put yourself in positions that won't even give her that notion, won't even allow her mind to have to go and start conjuring up stuff and, you know, well, this happened. So, you know, you just, so no, I don't even have male friends, you know.
Okay, so this is our last question before we get into our couples game. What advice, and this is for my men, the last question was for our ladies, for our men, what advice would you give to men that are scared to commit? Like, what is that one thing that you would tell them that maybe push them into that commitment direction? They're scared of it. What would you say to them?
If I don't know, you just have to be that dude, in my opinion. If they're scared, then they just have to come around. I don't have any advice for them. I really don't.
Wait, can I ask something? Because you have a friend that has children with the woman, lives with the woman, but is not married to her, and doesn't seem like he's really ready to. Like, what? I know that's your friend, so you probably know his personality a little bit better.
Yeah.
So explain, what is that disconnect and why he won't commit?
Well, with him, that's tough. Like I said, I've been knowing him, the guy she's talking about, since 9 and 10. I met him on the baseball field, 9 and 10 years old. So
that's just him.
That's just, I mean, and to tell you the truth, he actually said that he wanted to marry this shit. Like, really. But he just hasn't. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I mean, if you have some better advice for these guys, hey, let me know so I can tell my friends.
I'm going to take a stab at it. Man up. Man the heck up. I'm a preacher, so I live life by Bible, by scripture. God and his divine wisdom, for reasons some of us don't understand, but my belief in God is not based on understanding, it's based on trust. So he creates the world, creates all these animals. He gives each animal a partner, someone equal and comparable to help them achieve whatever mission he gave the animals to achieve. I don't know. Mosquitoes' mission was to be annoying. I don't know. So then after all of that, he creates Adam. And then for the first time, he says, it's not good that man be alone. Not it's not possible for him to achieve whatever he's supposed to achieve. Yeah. It's just not good. Yeah. And notice everything God creates, he saw that it was good. Yeah. So if his prized possession was made to have someone comparable, then in my opinion, as a man, you've got to look at that and say, okay, there's someone out here for me, that whatever I see myself doing, wherever I see myself, there's someone that's there to help me, to stand beside me, to help me get that done. Yeah. And so that would be my advice to them. You're not gonna, you can get there by yourself. You can, you really can. There have been some men that have, done amazing things in this world without, someone directly beside them. Yeah. But when we look at the men that we hold in high regard, your Malcolm X's, your Martin Luther King's, your Barack Obamas, they've had those strong women that stand beside them. Yeah. When I go off and preach, if it was up to me, I wear black and white everywhere. But she sees something different. Hey, why don't you put this pattern with that and then put that on top of that? No, change those shoes, wear these shoes. The little stuff like that.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and like I promised you, we're finally getting into our game. Like I said, we as women, we talk a whole lot, and we just want to know, are men listening? And when the little bit that our men do say, are we listening to them? Okay, so I'm going to ask all the couples a few questions. I'm going to say flip. They're going to flip over their card. If they get it right, if they both have the same answer, 1 point for them. if they don't have the same answer, and 0 points for them, okay? So, let's get started. Men, what is your woman's favorite makeup product? That one makeup product she cannot live without. Ladies, write your answer. Men, write your answer.
Product or brand?
No, product.
Product.
Come on. You gotta know your mate. That one thing that she just has to put on, even if y'all just run into the grocery store, she just has to put it on. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, flip.
Oh, you got it
Bronzer,
right.
okay. Foundation, he said lipstick.
When do I
So,
Scream, I never wear lipstick.
What is foundation?
See, that's good. You don't see it. You don't know it.
Oh.
It's that brown stuff that just makes my.
Oh.
You don't know what it is. I don't make up in front.
all right, so 1 point for y'all, 0 points for y'all. Okay, so this one is for the ladies again. It's all about the ladies around here. Online shopping or mall hopping for hours, which one would she prefer? Online shopping, or is she at the mall, store after store, mall after mall? Flip. Online, mall hop. Good. All right. Y'all know each other. Okay, 6 for the Brookins, 7 for the Brookins, 6 for the Sanders. Okay. All right. So this one is for the men. How many kids does he want? Rachel, you struggling now. Come on, Rachel. Think about it. He wrote that one kind of fast, though.
My answer's so long. I have a whole explanation.
Could you not write that?
Okay,
Flip. 1 million. He tells me 3 though. 3, okay.
So he says 3 to appease me, but I know he wants like a whole boatload full of kids. He know I'm not having.
Okay, so technically both of y'all was right. So that's 8 for the Brookins, 8 for the Sanders. Okay, we got 2 more questions. Next one. This one is for the men. His favorite sleep position. He sleep on his stomach, he sleep on his back, he sleep on his side. One, 2, 3, flip. Stomach on my side, snoring. Oh no. She said stomach. On my side, side in his sheet. Ding, 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 ding. So that's
I did like
8 for the Brookins and what was that? 8 for the Sanders. So now y'all are officially tied. Okay. Last one. Jay-Z or Drake? For the men, which one would you choose? If he had to choose, which one would it be? Jay-Z or Drizzy? I'm waiting on Mr. Austin. Flip. Jay-Z, 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 Jay-Z. Okay, good. Yay! Okay, so the Brookins won because they got, I think, one more. Or y'all tied. Oh, y'all tied.
Okay.
See, I done lost count.
Yeah.
So let's give it up for these super dope couples, okay, who know their mates very well. And we'll be right back with our toast, ladies and gentlemen. And we're back, ladies, okay? And the show is coming to an end. Oh my goodness, I'm so sad because I really learned a lot from y'all. Like I said, I'm super single. That means I've been single for a long time. So just hearing you guys, how excited y'all are about love, how just in love y'all are, it truly motivates me that hopefully God will send my knight in shining armor 2017, like right now, like yesterday, because I'm tired of being single. But anyway, guys, I want to thank y'all for being a part of this series and just for shining so much light on love. Like I say, sometimes in our generation, it's not something that's talked about and praised. So for you guys to come on here and just be so open and so happy about love, it makes me so happy. And if y'all want to give y'all social media, please let them know. If y'all want them to follow you on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. If not, y'all don't have to. But y'all can definitely follow us at rateddTALK. Okay, y'all can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We don't have a Snapchat and we don't have a Twitter, but you're more than welcome to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at rateddTALK. And let's toast to love. Like, that's a beautiful thing. One, clink, 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 clink. Take a sip of the love potion. All right, and we will see you all on the next episode. And this is Couples and Cocktails. And until next time. And we're gonna all say what this amazing sign says on 1, 2, 3. Just say it's rated talk, baby. 1, 2, 3. It's rated talk, baby.
Let's talk. Rated talk. Let's talk. Rated talk. Rated chat. Rated beauty. Rated style. Rated dinner. Rated juice. Rated advice. Rated tips. Rated talk. Let's talk. Welcome to Rated Talk, baby.